I got to figure this out. I have so many questions here. Have you heard about this? A proposal to merge 6 of 14 state schools, talking about colleges here, in Pennsylvania, and it looks like it's one step closer to being a reality.
So Bloomsburg, Mansfield, and Lock Haven in the northern part of the state would merge, and then California, Clarion, and Edinburgh in the western part of the state would merge into one. But all 6 campuses, they're going to remain open.
There's my question.
So we want to bring in Dan Greenstein, Chancellor of the Pennsylvania State System of Higher Education.
Hi, Dan.
Good morning to you.
Chancellor.
Good morning.
Yes. So, Chancellor, if you could please explain, like Mike was saying, just so folks understand, because they're not closing, but things are certainly going to be different now that they're going to be they're, I guess, joining together.
That's correct. So what will happen is you'll see 3 universities partnering together in each region of the state, as you've described, each becoming kind of a powerhouse institution where students can have access to the full breadth of academic programming available across the 3, plus the intimate experience of a residential college education.
You know, I graduated from the University of Kansas, so, you know, I'm going to have to ask you that again. I'm not sure what this all means. Why? Is it just lack of enrollment? Is it lack of tuition money?
Sure, lack of enrollment plays into it. As schools get smaller, as their enrollment declines, they can only support the number of programs that their students can support, the number of students that they can enroll. And so as they get smaller, their academic programs contract. And that means that there's less choice for the students who are available at those campuses. And that's tough for students, but it's also tough for the communities in which those universities are located.
Right.
Because they rely on those universities to produce their leaders, their educators, their healthcare professionals, their business leaders. And those folks need the full range of academic opportunities, of specialties, if that makes sense. And so now you can be a smaller institution,
right,
with students having access to a full breadth of academic programs.
So with that access, that means, because if it's in another part of the state, you do online classes, and that's how you'd be able to take advantage of all the schools being connected?
So our estimate is that 75% of the students would be enrolled in face-to-face classes for right through the course of their degree. The advantage is that they just have a wider range of choices, particularly with electives and with major courses.
But still, there's going to be a campus at Bloomsburg, Lock Haven, Mansfield.
Absolutely.
There will be a campus.
Campus,
will it be
sports
reduced?
Teams, residence halls, college life.
The whole thing. Will the names, will you come up with a new name for like Bloomsburg, Lock, Mansfield or something school? Or they all keep their names.
So each of the universities will be able to use its name, and they will. They've been around for a long time, these universities. They have a lot of history, a lot of identity, and we do everything we can to preserve that. The collection will have to have a new name, and they're out polling and doing some market research to see what that might be.
What would be a name that's been brought up? Come on.
I have no idea. I am not deeply involved in that process. I can't wait to see what they come up with.
Because that's important.
I'll come up with something.
I'm sure
there we go.
The interesting thing is, if these universities aren't closing, they'll be able to still stay at their respective places. Why is it going to cost $30 million then to implement this and get this done?
There's a one-time cost, integrating technology systems that need to work together differently, you know, that sort of thing.
Spend money to save money. We got some, shoot, we're out of time.
We are?
I was going to get to some comments that I saw in the National Enquirer, the Philadelphia Inquirer.
Well, we can do maybe 2 at once.
Right.
This is from, like he mentioned, from the Inquirer. Stephen Mark says, by doing what we're doing, we're underselling ourselves, which I think for me as an alum makes me feel like my degree is worth a little less. And then Christopher, who's the president of Westchester University, says it's going to start dragging us all down.
Yeah, I think the president of Westchester is saying that unless we actually get our arms around the financial challenges at these institutions, it will drag the entire system down. I think the other chap, or assuming it was a chap, I think he's wrong. I think you'll see that the quality of the degrees will actually go up because now you're able to operate as an institution of like 13,000 students, which means you can do things you can't do when you're only 3,000 or 4,000.
All right, we'll keep an eye on it. How soon could this happen? I got 10 seconds.
Yeah, the opening date would be August 2022.
Oh, pretty soon.
Oh, it's fast.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chancellor. Spending some time.
Great talk to you. Thanks.
We'll work on the name for you.